Well, hello everyone. Brother Stan Leo here. Another beautiful day riding around these mountains. Welcome to the channel. Really appreciate you all tuning in. So today what we're going to do is work on the fuel sensor and the fuel filter. When I went to dump the gas out of the tank, I noticed there was a bunch of particles in there, and the fuel sensor wasn't working anyway. It was always on, so I knew I was going to have to replace it. But let's get started on that. But first, let me give you a scripture reading for today. As a body is one, though it has many parts, all the parts of the body, though many, are one body, so also Christ. Okay, so originally I'd planned on doing a tank lift today, but after dumping the gas out of the tank, I noticed that there's like all these little white particles, and I don't know if you can see them really on the video here, but there's like all these little tiny white particles in the gas. It's like little pieces of plastic or something. And anyway, I did take a look on YouTube, and there's a gentleman who replaced his fuel pump, and it looks like I've got the same problem here. Looks like those particles are probably from the fuel pump or the filter or something. So there's a link down there in the description of him replacing that fuel pump, and I think that's what I'm going to probably have to do with this guy here, because this looks like the same kind of stuff in here. So I guess that's what we're going to end up doing today. Alrighty. Okay, so this is a Torx 25, and I'm going to go ahead and start taking this apart here and see what we come up with. Okay, so I got all the screws out here, and just took a screwdriver to pry this guy off with. So let's see what we got here, what this thing looks like. Pulling it out is a little tricky getting it out though. You gotta wiggle it a little bit. And, it's getting caught on something. It's one of the things they said in the video, is that it's kind of hard to wiggle it around. There you go. It's coming out. Alright, there it is. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. It looks pretty good, actually. This is the piece that the sensor's not working on the bike for some reason. It's not giving me the the fuel gauge temperature doesn't work. But I mean, this pump looks pretty darn good. The filter looks good. So I don't know what that stuff is that's inside the tank. If anybody has any idea what that stuff might be, let me know. I have no idea what that stuff is. The tank doesn't look terrible, and like I say, the fuel pump and everything looks pretty good. It doesn't look like it's decayed or rusted out or anything like that. So I don't know if I should just change this sensor thing. Costs probably just as much as the whole darn pump. I don't know. But, well, we'll see what we're going to do next. Alright, so I took it apart, pulled this clip off of here, and then this guy here was hooked on by this little kind of I guess it's like a lock thing anyway. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, it's over here. So I yanked that off, took this guy apart. I don't know, but I mean, it doesn't look like there's anything terribly wrong with it. Pulled the filter out here. Now the filter doesn't look too good, I'll give you that, but that's where I'm at right now. I may just end up getting see if I can get a sensor for it in a filter, and try doing that first before I go buy a whole fuel pump assembly. Okay, so I got all the parts here. When I went down to the Harley dealer to get the gasket, because I didn't want to wait on eBay for the gasket, it was going to take too long. I started talking with Tad down there at Killer Creek, and he told me that that white stuff is coming from some kind of there's a sealer or something in here, and it peels up over time. I don't see any indication of that, but what I did see was in here, when this thing came apart, it was cracked. So a bunch of that white goop was in here. Can't really see it very well, but anyways, can't imagine all of it came from this. Maybe, whatever. That's what appears to be the white goopy stuff that we're seeing. But anyway, I got the parts from different locations. This is from Drag Specialist. This is the whole filter and the screen. A couple tie wraps, the new O-ring. I mean, look at the difference in the filter. That filter is really bad. Probably original. The bike's 11 years old. It's probably never been done before, so it's a good thing I'm doing it. And then this is the sensor, which came from V-Twins off of eBay. And I'm going to put a link in here for the V-Twin brothers. They did a really good video on this whole process. I don't think I'm going to do much better of a job. But one of the things you probably want to do is take a picture of everything before you take it apart, so you know everything goes back together. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. Taking this guy off next. We're going to get this screen off of here. And I think this whole pump piece is going to have to come out, because this screen wraps underneath the pump. So I'm going to get started on that now. Okay, so we're going to start with taking off these tie wraps here. Get these clipped off. And see if we can get that out of the way. Then this band clamp, it seems like, is what holds this whole filter against this bracket. There's a bracket here which is bolted in, and it looks like, yeah, from what I can tell, this band clamp is holding this all together. So I got to try to get this guy off of here now. Try to unclip it. Alright, so let's try to get maybe a screwdriver or something. Looks like there's a clip here. It just probably pulls up. Maybe pop it off here. Yeah. There we go. Alright, so that came out. That's pretty simple there. So it comes off of here. And then this guy should just pull apart, I think. Yep, there we go. It's coming apart pretty easily. This guy down here is sticking a little more. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that came out, because it looks like this piece kind of goes, it looks like the way this goes together, this piece here goes like underneath here. You see I still got a bunch of those little white particles down there. So we're going to take this now, and this should just pull off this piece here. Oh, there you go. It wasn't too bad. I could have just pulled it off with my hand. Anyway, I hope I didn't mess this up. Alright, so that's this guy. So now we're just going to do the reverse. Try to get some of this white stuff out of here. Okay, so we need to think about this because we took the band clamp off first. And you know, to put it back on, you wouldn't be able to get it on this way unless you took everything apart. So I think what we're going to do is put the band clamp on here first so we can get it up here at the top, so when we put it back together it'll slide back down on. And I'm going to go ahead and put the filter back in here. Now this should just snap in. It's, I think you just have to use a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of pressure, and get this guy in here. So we gotta just push it hard and get it to snap. Which I gotta tell you, it's pretty tight. It's pretty hard. Yeah, so it just took a lot of squeeze, pushing down. But yeah, I did get it on. So now when we go to put this guy back together, we want to make sure that we get this white piece down here. See, it's got to go underneath the bracket. That's the way the other one was when I took it off. And then this should slip in place. This is going to go up like this, and we're going to push this guy back in place. And there it goes. See, it's getting closer, and you can see where the band mark was here. So it looks like it's in the right. Looks like it's in the right place. Okay. And then we got our band clamp here, which we got to wrap back around. Okay. I don't have the tool for this, so it's a special tool for the band clamp, but I'm just going to try to do my best and get it to hold it in place. Alright, I wasn't successful with the band clamp. So what I'm going to do is I put a good tie wrap on here and hold it in place. I think that should be alright. And then we got to put a couple more tie wraps in here for the according to where the other ones were. So looking at my picture here, and I'll go ahead and put another one down here on the bottom. This, hold this guy here, and to see where the clips were, because we don't want to have a problem with them not going in because it was so tight getting in before. So I'm going to make sure I got these guys in a location where they're not going to hit the area that we were having a problem getting them in. So that'll be one of them around here, and then I'm going to put another one up here. So we got a couple of them in here holding this thing on. I don't know why we need so much on here, but whatever. I guess it's probably because it vibrates a lot. But go ahead and get these in here, and we'll tighten these down, and then we'll put our sensor on. Okay, so we got those all on, and now what we want to do is we're going to take this O-ring off of here and put the new O-ring on. And then we'll put the new filter in here. So I guess, so, you know, think about it, there's like 2 filters here. There's this screen over here, with the fuel for the fuel pump. It goes up through here to gas, and then it goes through here to the gas filter, and then it comes down out to your, you know, to your injectors. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in here, like this. And I don't think it's directional. It looks like it's, yeah, it doesn't matter what way it goes in. So I'll put that in there. Gotta push it in a little bit. And then I got the new O-ring here. That's the old one. I want that one. Put our new O-ring on. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to take this guy, and there's a little notch here on the side. And we're going to go ahead and push that back together. So you see the latch lines up. And we're just going to use some pressure to get this guy back on. Okay. And then we're going to reuse our same clip that we had before. Okay, so if you look at this thing, there's actually a groove here. So it is. This is directional. So it's got to go into that groove. So I had it the other way apparently. I must have. And then there you go. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Look at that. See? That goes right on. Alright, no problem. So we've got that done. Now we want to get our new sensor here and get this guy hooked up. Now, if you didn't take pictures, shame on you. But I would highly recommend that you get yourself a manual. You know, like I got a climber manual here, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, definitely get yourself a manual or something so you can have all the right documentation you need to put things back together in the right place so it looks right. But, alright, so let's get this guy out now and put him on. Okay. There we go. Now this extra wire here, I think it must be for a different model, or I think the Nightster, one of those maybe, uses this extra wire. We don't use that on this model. And then we got our little clip, remember our snap clip here, the new one. So looking at the documentation here, this guy is going to go on in this direction. Remember, it's inside, the fuel thing is inside here. And just check it, you know, it's glued together really good. Doesn't seem like there's any cracks or anything. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in here, like this, and then you just put our little snap clip on here, which, you know, you got to have some tiny fingers, I think, to get in here to snap this guy on. So I'm going to fiddle around with that, get that on, and then we'll plug it up. Okay, so this was extremely challenging. I got to tell you, it was difficult getting this little ring on here. So I ended up using a, well, in my case, it was 9/32 to get like an even pressure around the ring. And then I was trying to push on because this thing is very delicate. I don't want to break this plastic, so I used this guy to put some leverage on this side. And then I pushed the ring on really, you know, as tight as I could get it. It's still a little wobbly, but it's not terrible. I think that should work. Now what we do is I'm going to go ahead and hook up our connector here, which is directional, and it should just go right in. It should slide in here like so. Get this guy back together. Yeah, it should snap in there. May need a little bit of persuasion, but we'll get that in. And then I think we're ready to go ahead and put this guy on the tank. So I'll get the tank ready. Alright, so I'm going to put this guy back on the tank now, but you got to be careful with this filter. It is, or not filter, I'm sorry, gasket. It is directional, and so you got to be careful which way you put it on. And I believe the grooves go down on here, I'm pretty sure, when I took it off, so yeah. Alright, so let me get that on the tank and torque it down. Okay, so that really wasn't bad at all. I got the pump back on there with those bolts. It was really, they're Torx 25. The manual says that it should be about 40 inch-pounds, which is like 3.5 foot-pounds. That's not really that much, so it's just kind of hand tight. I did put Loctite on there and buttoned her up, so we'll get the tank back on the bike. Still got to do the wire wrapping, and then we're going to do the wire tuck underneath here and put the tank lift on it next. So stay tuned, and thank you very much. Please, if you like what you're seeing, give me a like and a subscribe and all that stuff so you can see what I'm doing on the bike, and any suggestions or comments are welcome. Okay, thanks for watching. God bless.